Hello, this is Judy and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm working on another prompt from Scraptember 2022 and it is, I already did stickers. It is the 10th prompt, 6x6 paper pads. Now, I don't have many 6x6 paper pads. It was never something that I really did. I have a few, but I'm going to do a layout that you could definitely use a 6x6 paper pad for. Okay, I know that doesn't fit the prompt, but it's the best I can do right now. So I'm going to do this layout, and as you can see, these are 2x2 squares. So from a 6x6 pad, it would be so easy to make this design, right? However, I don't even have to cut anything out because I have a piece of paper that is already done like this. So that's why I picked this layout. And this is the Crisp Bear collection from Close to My Heart. I'm a maker and I do these layouts to help my customers, use their products and to give others inspiration. So I hope you will enjoy it. I try to teach things as well. And today we're going to be using some design stamping with these images and how to add some different color effects. This is a stamp set that is, here's the photos I'm going to use. This is my daughter and my grandson, and then a girl that comes and helps her. And I use the recipe book from Close to My Heart so I can find what is used on the layout, and everything is listed here. And you can find this online at their website. My website is stampinforever.closetomyheart.com. If you need anything, you don't have a Close to My Heart maker, feel free to use me. I would be happy to have you as a customer. This is the stamp set that I'm using. You can also get one that has fall here instead of autumn. But when I do this layout, this fall banner will have to be autumn for me because I don't have the fall one. It is what it is, right? So I'm going to use this stamp set. And I got my white daisy, and this is the paper. It's already done for me. Isn't it gorgeous? And on the back is a beautiful sapphire with little tiny itty bitty leaves. I hope that's focusing on that. I love this sapphire though. This paper is so pretty. These clusters of flowers, they're like a watercolor effect. They're just gorgeous. So I'm going to cut this piece of paper down for the center and then the white daisy over the top. So that'll be easy. And then I brought out the sticker sheet to help me with my clusters of embellishments along with the stamp set. And this is one I have just a few left on that I'm going to try to use. So I'm going to cut my papers down, and it looks like this is 8 and a little bit more. So I'd say probably 8.5, maybe 8 1/4. And then the white piece I'll make 8 inches square, and if it's too big then I can cut it down. The photos are pretty small, so if this is 8, I'm guessing these are probably 3x3. My photos might have to be a little bit bigger, so I guess what I'm going to do is start out with measuring my photos and make sure that they fit within this square. I might have to make mine a little bit bigger. On this photo mat, they did some stamping with the stamps and some Sundance ink, which made a really pretty photo mat. Also, looks like they popped it up on some foam because you can see some of the dimension on those photos, so that's really pretty. Okay, cut my photos down to 3.5 by 5, and I thought that was the best I could do without cutting off anything important. I gutted out the middle of this paper just because it's just so pretty. I couldn't waste any of it. I just couldn't. And these is 9.5 by 9.5, and then this is 9 by 9. So I'll get those put together, and then we will make our photo mats and our banner. I wanted to show you a tip that I recently found out. I use the Fiskars cutter from Close to My Heart. It's not from Close to My Heart, but they carry it. And I love this cutter. However, sometimes when the blade gets a little bit used, especially for the white daisy cardstock, sometimes you will get some little fibers on the edges. And I've seen people use nail files and sandpaper and so on and so forth to get rid of that. And I recently just found out that if I use this, this is my rub and remove, it takes the paper off. And it does so very nicely. You know, if that's something that you have happen to you, try your rub and remove to smooth those edges down. It works really nice. The next thing I'm going to do is stamp my photo mat, and I made this 6 by 7.5. I'm going to keep my photos on one piece. This will help save time. So I will just stamp the whole thing, and then I can layer my photos on top. So let's get this stamp set out. And that is a huge stamp. I think I'm going to use this one here. And when you use a stamp like this, our stamps are very high quality. Use the smallest block that it'll fit on. And we're going to bring out the Sundance ink. And this is brand new, so actually I'm going to take my rub and remove and just rub it. It takes that stickiness or manufacturing residue off of it. Let's see if we got a little, I got some stuff from my rub and remove on there. Let's see if it will stamp good now. So we'll get some scrap paper out. And I turned my Versamat over because there's a nice solid cushion on this side. Oh, that's stamped pretty good. I'm just going to do a little smear here just to get it rubbed off. It has like a crosshatch design on the stamp that's pretty unique. And let's see, I'm going to do stamping off, so let's go ahead and layer that underneath. And they may have even done some second generation. Now see that residue on that stamp from going off? So I don't want that on there. So just go here. And it doesn't matter if it's perfect or imperfect because my pictures are going to be over the top. So this is just adding some color and interest. So let's see when our photos are on it, what it'll look like. That looks really good. Adds so much interest to it. Okay, and then they added a sticker underneath one and then some journaling on the other side, so we can do that as well. I brought out my sponge dauber, and I'm just going to add a little ink around the outside of this. It just gives it a little extra dimension. And I'm going to pick the ink up from the lid there. I used it for watercoloring, and there's still a lot of ink in the cover. That looks good. Okay, I brought in a piece of white daisy to use as a journaling strip, and I'm just going to add some ink to the edge to give it some dimension before I put it down. And I'll let my daughter do journaling on here because she knows where and when this was. It was last fall. Let me measure and see about how long to make this. And we'll give it a little snip. Then we'll add ink to that edge. And then we will put it down so she can use that for journaling. And you can see the dimension that it gives it. It distinguishes it from the background there. When I have glue on these little pieces so that it doesn't seep out the edges and I get good distribution of the glue, I will fold it together and rub it so that the glue is smeared and thinned out so that it doesn't seep out. So that looks really good. So now I'll pull in a sticker, and on the layout in the book it had this Harvest Delight, but I think I'm going to use Season of Change. I'll use my tweezers just so I can get a good look of what it'll look like. And I kind of like it right there overlapping. It looks good right there. I got all my stamps out on some blocks, and I did a little bit of plain, so I'll show you what I found to be the best color combinations. And all these colors are in this Crisp Air collection. So I really like the Paprika, Papaya, and Peach. So let's play with those a little bit. I take my biggest stamp and I'm going to ink it with the peach. Make sure I get a good saturation of ink. I'm going to take a dauber and I'm going to go in the papaya, and then I can go around the outside edge. This is also a type of rock and roll, but I kind of want to get in a little bit further with that ink. And then I'm going to go with the paprika and just darken it around the bottom. Maybe a couple little bit areas on the other top. And then we'll stamp it. And we'll really leave it there for a little bit to let it soak into the paper. And look at how pretty that is. So now we also have a bunch of layering pieces that we can add to it. And I like this one. It's like a, I don't know, the inside of the flower design. So let's go ahead and stamp that. I'm going to stamp it off because it's very dark right now. And then we'll stamp it in the middle. So that's a second generation. See how light that is? And now we're going to go with the darker one. And this is the inside of the flower. It's just a representation. And we'll go in there like that. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Okay, so now we'll do it again. We'll use this flower. And let's do the papaya. And let's do a first generation. And then we have it here, and let's go in with this quickly around the outside, and I can go in a little bit and add some of that paprika as well. So it's second generation with papaya inked around the outside and a little bit of paprika. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now we're going to add just this one. And let's do this one. And then with this one, we can do the paprika. So it's darker. So pretty. Layering these flowers is gorgeous. All right, so this is the other one. So let's go ahead and let's do papaya. And stamp that down. And now we're going to go in with the papaya again. And we're going to do like half of it, okay? And then we'll do the paprika right on the bottom. This will kind of give it an ombre effect, I hope. I'll let it soak in. Look at that, it's so pretty. All right, so where's that other little one? Okay, this one, I think. That's probably going to be too big. We can try it. Let's take a look at it. What do you think? I think it's going to be too big. So let's just do this one. Yeah, that's really pretty. Okay, so you get the idea of how you can mix those colors on these stamps. And you can do that with any stamps, right? It's not just these ones. It's just adding that color combination. That's so pretty. Close to my heart, really knocks it out of the park with the colors that all meld together. So let's just play with the sapphire a little bit here. And this is a really intense color. So let me wash this off. So let's ink it up now. Make sure we got a good color. And I'm going to do a second generation in the same way. So there's the blue. You can really see the hash marks in that now. See how I've got that colored in there? Press it down, let it soak in. So pretty. All right, now we've got one that's a little bit different. So let's do this one. And we're just going to add a little dimension and depth in the bottom of this one. And then put it here. And then we'll add some darkness here. That makes it look almost dimensional, doesn't it? It's so cool. All right, let's add this one into the middle of that dark one and see if we can get that to show up. Yeah, look at how pretty that is. I love the sapphire. All right, so let's do this one. Now we'll do the second generation with the inking around the outside. It's so pretty. I love the inner parts that they provided in this stamp set too. Let's go ahead and do the leaves. Now they give you this really nice, beautiful, long branch. I really like this one. Make sure we get a good solid coverage. This is with pine. And I'm missing the inside there. That's what's nice about these clear stamps. You can see where if your ink is missing anywhere. So there's that. Now I'm going to pull out another piece of white because this one's almost used up. Because I want a second generation of this. Oh, isn't that pretty? All right, so bring this in. It doesn't look like there's a lot of ink left on here, so let's just add a little bit more around the outside. And this dauber has almost seen its last days. Oh yeah, that looks pretty. Oh, I really like that. Okay, I've got a couple of little leaves too, so let's do them. Actually got some room on here. Make sure we got good coverage of ink. Yep, let's add some green around the outside of this one. It's just fun to play sometimes. It's just get out your stamps and play with them. Try different color combinations. See what you can come up with. I'm going to do a bunch of these little ones. I think they're really good for layering. I'll do some on here. Let me add some blue to the outline and see if that would look good. You know, because sometimes leaves have blue. We could even add some of the other colors too. Whoops. I want to have the blue dauber. Very cute. Look at that. All right, let's do a blue leaf. And we'll add some green around the outside. I think I like the green with the blue best. All right, so that should be enough of these. Now I want to show you the banner that's going to say, oh, I put the wrong lid on there. The banner that's going to say autumn, and that's going to be in pine. Now when you have, I could do these individually, but I'm going to use the thin cut to cut them all out, so it doesn't matter. So I put 2 on here, but I think I might be able to fit 3 on this block. And then I can stamp them all at once and save myself a little bit of time. I got to make sure I leave enough room in between so the thin cut will cut it out. And I need 2 U's, so I'll get that out and stamp it twice. And now I can ink and stamp these all at once. And again, I could do the outline on this one. It doesn't really show up real well, but it's really pretty. I like that effect. All right, so let's get the other letters. Now I don't know if I'm gonna have room to put this on here. Let's see. Nope. That's where my fingernail was. That end didn't show up real well there. I can still tell it's an N though. I don't know, I might use those. But I put it on the back of this one that I probably won't use, so I can cut it out on that side. So I will get these cut out. These are the flowers that were left from the pile I had cut out of paper with my thin cuts that we had made together, and then I made a couple off camera. And this again is the layout that I chose to follow for my design. And this is my layout, and isn't it gorgeous? I love it. I did add a little more bling. I did add a bigger flower cluster here, littler one up here, a little bit here, but that's what it was in the design and the catalog as well. And I love this leaf branch. It just is so pretty. So I just want to mention to go to the playlist in my video description to see everybody else's videos that are following along. And thank you for joining me here. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and I will have a little bit of close-ups here. Let's do it on here for you. And then I'll let my daughter do her journaling down here on this strip. And there's even some white space here that she can put a little bit more if she has extra to say. And this was a quick video. We've got a lot going on at home, so I want to make sure I do these videos and keep up with it, as well as get other things done. So have a wonderful day, and thank you again for joining me.